Good morning. Here I am back near Holesworthy in this lovely little position here. Today I'm on the other side of the church, which has got about 5 or 6 acres. And this church is actually, well, the actual place is mentioned in the Doomsday Book. The church dates back to sort of 1500. So it should be fairly promising. I know, talking to the farmer this morning, he said there's a couple of other people been out here detecting, but as they say, a field's never done. My plan on this one, just to start off with, is to what they call flag the field, and I'm going to flag an acre, because you could end up just wandering around all over the place, endless. And you know, if I can get some sort of idea of where things may be or where paths may be, I've looked on the old maps and stuff, but it's a bit difficult. I mean, you know, the maps of then sort of 1860 onwards changed, footpaths changed, buildings changed and all this sort of stuff. So trying to get an indication of where stuff was sort of 1700s and all that is always very difficult. I usually try and check on LiDAR or Archie to see if there's anything about, and it just gives me sort of an indication of what's about. I'm not really fussed on, you know, digging up magnificent stuff, but it's nice to be able to dig up, you know, relics, artifacts, a few coins and stuff like that, rather than sort of wandering around aimlessly. But anyway, enough said, and I'll see you at the first hole, as they say. Well, I'm at the first hole. I thought it was a bit rubbish. It came up on about a 14, but it's like an old sort of dandy button or a tomback button or something or other. I think it dates back to about 1800 or so. I was just wandering around here, starting this flagging process, and I just thought to myself, well, you know, many years ago they were probably sat in the front of this church having a picnic or whatever. So there should be some bits and pieces here, actually. It's not very often, you know, I get to go close to churches, or, you know, ancient sort of monuments and stuff like that, but this, you know, is a good start, really. I'm quite happy with that, and it's a nice button. Well, just going on to my second hole, I've got myself another button, probably very similar to the last one, just a bit smaller. It's got a shank on it and all that sort of stuff. I shan't mess with it too much, because the button before I was messing about with it like I always said I shouldn't do, and broke the shank on it. So yeah, it was a nice button too, but this one's okay. Well, I just dug this one out. Signal wasn't very good, actually, and sort of saying to myself, well, that's a signal there with no end and no beginning. And I thought, well, there's a song about that. Who sang that? And I thought, no end and no beginning. Did it? That's Madonna. Yeah. Anyway, enough of this rambling on. I think that's some sort of a tag or something, if you look at it that way. Anyway, on to the next. Right, I just dug the next hole. It was a rubbish signal, really, but I thought to myself, the one that I had a button up just now, that was a bit iffy, so I dug it. But I don't know what this is. It's always a bit disheartening when you dig these holes and then all of a sudden you see the brown and rust in the side of the hole and you think, oh my god, there it is. But anyway, I don't know what they've done with this, some sort of, some off the tractor or something they stick in the ground, no idea. Well, just come off a bit of a iffy signal. Don't know if you can see on there, sort of 48, but it's a steady 50, so I'm going to give it a dig. I won't do it live, I'll get back to you. Well, on that one, the detector knew it was somewhat iffy, those iffy signals, but now it's out the ground. When I come back here, I'm not going to go over it again, and I can dispose of it, so that's pretty good. God, the farmer came up to me just now and he said, oh, you found anything yet? I said, oh, I've had a couple of buttons, bloody blah, a little chat, and he was telling me about how people used to come up here and do things over this part of the field. I don't know, threshing or something or other. I don't know what he was going on about anyway. But what I was trying to get to, he said, I'm just going out and doing something in the fields. God, I don't know what he's done out in the fields, but stink. I don't know if I could stick this day, but fair play to him. I think he thinks it's going to rain tomorrow or something or other. But it's normally raining down here every day, so why wouldn't it rain tomorrow? Right, I've just had my next dig. I'm very close to the road and I had a really high signal. Just get the detector a minute and you can listen. So normally when I get these are sort of Georges, George III or something like that. I can't really tell. I was talking to someone the other day and they said to me, they were watching one of my videos and they said, what does toasted mean? And I said, well, basically it's when you get nothing of them. Nothing of them. Sorry, I was a bit distracted then with this tractor coming down. I give him a little wave, perhaps he can see what I'm doing and he might stop and say, come and detect my land. But I don't know what this is, I'll clean it up. But going back to it, yeah, that's what a toasty is, and it seems pretty light, but I don't think it's expendable. But anyway, we'll see. I'll clean it up and get back. So there's another button, I think, that's just come up. I was just thinking, I'm not having as many buttons as I usually have, but this one's got a broken shank. I don't know, tiny little one. Yeah, button's a button. Let's go again. Do you know, it's funny, just dug this one. There's a really good signal. I nearly went ass over head into this bloody hedge here with all these bushes and brambles and God knows what. Because one of my mates said to me not so long ago, he said, oh, you want to get by where the blackbirds are and things like that? I said, oh yeah, why is that then? And he said, well, that's what I used to pick them. And obviously then when they were stretching up, their stuff would fall out of their pockets and all this stuff. So hence that's why I'm over here, and that's why I nearly just fell into this hedge just off the road. But anyway, going back to what I've got in my hand, the ring pull. A lot of people take the piss out of ring pulls and stuff like that, especially with me, what I dig. But I'm out to get one of these on every dig, and I think if it's going to be as elusive as the coins are, then if I hope for one, perhaps they won't come. Another thing, there's a bloke over there sort of watching me over the side, other side of the hedge. He thinks I'm talking to myself. Mental. Well, that was a shame. One of the better finds of the day, and you sort of look at it like that and think, oh, that's lovely, and then you look at that and you think, oh, that's disappointing. But yeah, little buckle. I expect that goes back to 1750 to 1800. So yeah, a couple of 100 years old. Very nice. I'll get and clean it up, as I always say, and get some better pictures. Well, I just found this one pretty close to this fence here. I don't go up too close to it because it drives the detector nuts, but that's either part of a pot or I thought of a crochet bell, but it's just a bit too big, and I think if it was a crochet bell, you'd have it, you know, it'd be this sort of size, and I don't think they've done that sort of size. But yeah, I haven't got a clue what that is, but it's got a nice patina on it, and yeah, just giving it a little rub, nothing too major. Yeah, nice. So I was just going to go on a bit further what I was saying about sparking and God knows what. I've just switched it down to about 19 at the minute. But on these, you can see the sensitivity. You can probably see my settings there as well. I can go through and anybody wants them, but you know, you go to 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm running on about 24 here. But you switch it up, 27, 28, 29, and it just, the further you go up, the more sparking you get. It's just constant, and I don't want that. So yeah, I'm running around these fields as it's grass on about 24. If I come over a sort of a fairly good target and it's a bit sort of sparky, I switch it down to about 21 so I can have a, you know, a good look before I dig. I've just had another toasty up. I've just explained earlier what toasties were. I'll give it a clean up later, but again, it's up in the sort of 70s, 80s on the machine. It's quite stable, so I'd imagine it'd be another George III or something like that. But yeah, interesting. Well, I've just come across this one. It looks like the end of a spoon or something or other. There's I thought there were some markings on it, but I can't really tell. It's like pewtery, but yeah, I'll wash it up later and see what it comes up like. So I just had a very deep signal, and I dug this up. I know exactly what this is, and yeah, I can tell. It's a bit of a servant's bell. I know, because I get heavily involved in bell ringing. I've actually rung the bells here and ring here quite regularly. So yeah, I'm aware of bells and the shapes and God knows what. This would have been as I said, a servant's bell. Probably the rest of it is somewhere. Right, on to the next one. Right, so I've just dug this next one. I think it's another George III. It's really, really high, but I don't think we'll get anything out of that. Might do, might not. Again, I'll clean it up later. And I was just about to say, you know, there's a lot of people that really work their big shovels into the ground, and you know, I always use one of these little plastic things, because A, it doesn't mess with the pointer, it doesn't upset the detector, so it's one less thing to be ringing and going on all day when you're out digging. And if you do come across like a really nice coin or a hammer coin or something, this is usually a lot more gentle than one of those you know, metal spades or these big metal digger things you get. I normally use them if I'm going to go out on a stony ground, but if I go out, you know, digging around places like this, bit of grass and maybe a bit of plough that's not really hard, always use a plastic shovel. I think you can get two for about £5 online, really cheap. And this one's probably lasted me, what, a year or something like that. Right, on to the next one. Well, I just dug this one out. It looks as though it's like a token, a lead token, but it's seen better days. I mean, the way I'm seeing that is that curve there would have, I'd imagine, would have gone round the whole thing. There's no shank on the back or button. I don't know if there's anything on it. There's usually a mark or something of the farm, because I think I said before, you know, there was a lot of when people were working on farms and stuff like that, they were paid in these tokens and such. But anyway, I'll have a look at it later and clean it up, and then I'll get back to you. Right, I've just come across like a nail. It doesn't look very modern. It's like a clog nail. I don't know, but I had to turn a detector right up to try and get that. There was a little signal, but I couldn't quite get it, so I had to put the sensitivity right up. It's a bit different to what I was saying earlier when it's sparking. If you have, you know, targets that are sort of 4 or 5 inches down and you've got your sensitivity on high, they will spark, and I normally turn them down, but for this one I had to turn right up. Anyway, so I've just dug this one now. I've got another little button. I'll take a picture of that and clean it up later. Quite nice. Shank's broke, but I'm on this little sort of hill here, and I just thought to myself, oh, maybe somebody's been playing roly-polies down there and dropped something or something or other, and well, might be right, might be wrong, but yeah, I'll just show you. I've just come up from the path of the church there, and I found a coin there, and there's a farm gate there that is really, really tough, and you know, somebody's dumped a load of stone there just to make it a little bit harder for the vehicles to get in and out. But yeah, it's sort of coming down to here now, so let's go on to the next one. So just digging along here now. Well, not digging, but just going along here and seeing if there's any signals. Come across a 32, 33 there. I'll just it's about 3 down, so it's not that far down. Let's have a quick look. Well, as I said before those times, I don't like digging on the camera because it's just wobbly, and you're watching it on the telly, it just makes you feel sick. But we'll have a little go. That's in there somewhere. So just sort of flatten that out. Well, that's probably made it worse. God knows what's in there. Let's have a look. Oh, hello. Well, it's one of those lead washers again that we had up earlier. I don't know what it is, or what they, sorry, I don't know what they're for, but they're lead and they're old. If they are, I'd say they're about sort of 1700 if they're lead, but I'll get back to you. I just had another signal and I've had one of those blimmin' lead washers again. The place is full of lead around this little bit here, more so than anything else. Anyway, I'm sure something good will come up in a minute, but lead's lead, and it's got some sort of shape to it, so I'm happy. This is another dodgy signal. It looks like a little button. Yeah, you could just see at the back. It's very old though. There you are. It's falling apart now. The shank's broke on the back, but it looks like that's sort of pre-1800. So this is quite a good spot here. We haven't had a lot up, but I'm hoping something should come up. But you know, I'll take these buttons all day. I just love the history. So anyway, I've just dug that screamer, and it looks a bit like a cartwheel penny. But again, you know, you got such a job to get anything off them. The cartwheel pennies were, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're 1797, and they were only sort of in existence for a couple of years. The reason being is the actual weight of the copper, the penny become less the weight of the copper in value. So you know, these things were worth a little bit more than a penny, so they got rid of them. And they moved on to something else, which was the penny with the Britannia on the back. Still George III, but yeah. Anyway, I'll clean that up and I'll get back to you. But, you know, going on about depth, my God. Again, look at this. This is sort of, I don't know, 10 inches again. And they're all down that deep. So something... It'd be nice to have this ploughed, actually. I was talking to the farmer earlier about it, and he said, well, I like to put the cows over there. And I thought to myself, yeah, well, yeah, fair enough, you'd like to put the cows over there, but there's quite a lot of acreage here. But there you go. Well, I just had a little signal here. Ever so dusty. I turned the Manticore up to sort of 25 sensitivity, and it's sparking and going like whatever. I switched it down to about 21, 22 and went over this, and it was quite a good signal. But I've just dug it, and it's lovely actually. It's a little buckle again. I'm not finding too many coins, but it's a lovely little buckle, and it's all intact as well. As I always say, I'm not going to play about with it, because the next thing that's going to do is snap, and never going to get it back to how it was. But yeah, I'll take another couple of pictures of them. Really nice. Well, I've just had this on a nice signal. It looks like it's a bit of horse tack or something or other. Not too sure. Might be the back of a watch or something. Yeah, that come up at about a 21, 22. I wasn't quite sure. I thought that was just a bit of old iron really, or something or other. But yeah, it's quite nice. Something else to go in the box. Right, I'm about a third to half, well, about half a mile away from the church. I had this one come up on the 80, and I reckon it's another one of these George III's, but I won't be able to tell until I wash them up. I might be able to get something off of them, but I very much doubt it. It's going to be sort of touch and go where anything comes up on that. But the interesting thing is, I was sort of walking down towards the village on a path that I thought might have been a path, and this has come up. So, you know, I've come up trumps on that one. I thought at first it might have been a moo tube, but no, it's good enough. And I'll go on to the next. Well, I thought I'd dig this nice signal and all that, and there it is, a moo tube. One of the things I find down here, the ones that I'm finding, are the ones with the red tops. For whatever reason, I mean, up in Somerset, well, I don't know what this is, but up in Somerset they're just usually smaller than this, and the sort of brassy aluminium type tops. But I don't know, I'm gonna have a read of this later and see what it's all about, because I've never really found one in that good a condition. So that'll do. Moving on. It's starting to get dark now, but just had another one. I thought it was a coin at first, but looking on the back, looks like it's had a shank of some sort at some stage. So yeah, just a button, but a button's a button. Well, I've just dug another one. Looks like I've got a blooming draw handle. What's that doing out here? Well, a find's a find, and draw handle's a draw handle, I suppose. Unless it could be anything else. Looks like a draw handle. Well, just coming to a close now. I've had a lovely time here today. Just looking, sun's starting to set now. Got the old detector there. Just gonna have a quick roundup of what I found today. So it's not been too bad. I've had 6 coins. I think there I've got 6 sort of, they're all toasted to be honest, but I'll have a look at it. I think this one here, we spoke about this earlier, I think that's a cartwheel, or it might be one of the big pennies, about 1807. All these come up on the high tone, so I got a rough idea. They're all George III's. As I said, they're all toasted. I haven't really cleaned them all up. That's, you know, that's not for here, that's for home. And then I move on to the little trinket tray and what have you. So we got a button up here. I was messing about with that and broke a bloody shank. Shank. I had those 3 little sort of lead washers. I think they go back a little bit. You've got the top right with a nice buckle, all intact. I washed that up. I thought that was a sort of nail out of a shoe or something like that. It might not be, probably too big for a shoe, I don't know. We had a little bit of bell. Yeah, there was that bit. And then there was a broken buckle. Shame about that. This is what I thought may have been a crochet bell, but I don't think so. I think it's some sort of pot. Otherwise, if it was a crochet bell, it'd be a bit too big. Then a button here. I thought this was a sort of spoon end or something or other. It might have something on there, I'm not too sure. It's quite heavy. It's sort of a pewtery type material. This was a little bit horse tack, or it could be something off the back of a brooch or something, I don't know. But I'd imagine that'd clear up all right. That was that thing. Like a tag of some sort, and then we got another button here. So all in all, pretty good day. Lots of digging. There was quite a bit of rubbish around here, and the signals were sort of erratic. These were coming up in the 70s and 80s, all of these. So as I said, that's sort of why I think they're sort of George III. But anyway, good day had by all, and I'll wash them up and finish up and slide down this bank at the same time. Yeah, and yeah, see where we go from there. So I've got them home, or got all the stuff home. Did find some sort of handle on the way back, and another button. That one there, it's quite hard to see. Let's try and get a light on it. Impossible. It's the Irish penny. But yeah, there you go. 26 items today. I bet there was 100 bits of rubbish.